Ooh, might make your head blow off.
Hey yo, it's a talk show host, Kana Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spade, alpha male God, one half of Relations. You wanna hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
What's good? Welcome to an all-new episode of Relations. My name is Kana Lassiter.
Say it with me now. Alpha male God, 51 Spade, a.k.a. the ninja you love to hate. I'm in the building.
You know how we do it. There's 2 topics in 1 hour, so we're going to jump right into it. The first topic of the night is going to be your hoe stage. Does it have an expiration date? And is that expiration date scenario different for men and women? And the second topic is going to really center around women who say they are tired and really can't find a man to lead them to rest. So let's dig into it. We're going to dig into the expiration date thing. Because it was really me overhearing a conversation that really had me questioning hoism. If I'm gonna be honest, which I am every time I do the show, I'm completely transparent. I myself had a stage. You know, there was a promiscuous stage that I went through, and then after that was over, it was kind of like I was scared. It was like I don't want to feel used up, so I put in place a 90-day rule. You know, so I wanted to make sure even if you were going to be a smash and pass, that I could at least say you faked it good, or you put in the right amount of effort, or I was cool within that 90 days with the friendship that we forged, that it was okay for me to sleep with you. So once I put that in place, my body count really, it wasn't increasing. It was staying steady. So when I was listening to the conversation about expiration dates, I thought, yeah, it is true, because mine had an expiration date. But then I remembered the whole population of divorced women who are now back in their whole stage. So then that made me change my answer to maybe there isn't an expiration date on your whole stage. I think you just go through different periods in life that make you justify being a hoe. Oh yeah, I'm a hoe right now. My husband took me through it. I was married for 25 years. Fuck that shit. I want to get fucked. So you are back in your hoe stage, but while you were with your husband, you weren't a hoe. You were a housewife. So I don't think it has an expiration date. I think it's just justifiable depending on the level you are or where you are in life. Does that make sense?
It don't have to make sense to me. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all that matters. As long as it makes sense to you.
Oh, really? So then you should not have a rebuttal.
I mean, we don't talk on this show for rebuttals. We talk on this show to have a conversation. I mean, and when you break it down as far as like wholeness, does it have an expiration date? Is it a difference for men and women? I mean, it's specific for who feels that way about themselves. As far as like expiration date, I don't think it has an expiration date. Like, if you a hoe, you a hoe. You're going to be a hoe till they put you in the ground. Like, I mean, you can believe that ain't true. But no, like for women, the difference is I can say the difference between a man and a woman is you're right to the point where it can show up at different times. But the reason it shows up at different times is because it never goes nowhere. Like, that hoe is in you, no matter what. You might be with a husband that's unfulfilled to you. You can't be a hoe with your husband if your husband won't let you be a hoe. So that's why some of the divorce rates come popping up like that. Because either they're unsatisfied with their husband will either work a lot, or they're hoeing while they with their husband. And that's the statistics that you ain't taking into play. You're saying, oh, you wasn't a hoe while you were with your husband. Says who? I done fuck married women. You done fuck married men. What, that shit just disappeared? It ain't disappeared. I know plenty of married women that try to convince themselves that, oh, well, my heart had left that relationship. You know what I'm saying? The ink ain't even dry. You know what I'm saying? Me and my husband was going through it. But you doing whole shit. Because if you was to see it from somebody else, you would say that's whole shit that they doing. I've seen plenty of women be like, man, look at this. She married too. You know what I'm saying? Fucking over her husband like that. He providing the whole lifestyle for her. That's being a hoe. You would see that for somebody else and you would call them a hoe, but not because it's your friend, you trying to give them a pass. That's what you doing.
No, I don't think it's called giving a pass. Like I said, I wanted to use a word that made sense to the conversation, and that's why I used the word justification. There are some things in our relationships that justify cheating, whether it's physical cheating, emotional cheating, for yourself, maybe not to your partner, but for you, it's a justification. And that's what that was. Oh, my heart is not in the relationship. The relationship is broken, it's bad, he beats me up, he cheats on me, I'm not happy. That is the justification for cheating. Now, I'm not saying that's right, but that's what it is. It's just giving yourself a pass because there's something going on in your environment that's saying, why the fuck are you dealing with this? Just go out and do A, B, and C. And so that, I think, is a different conversation because a person who has justified something like that, it's very hard for them to see just black and white, right and wrong. Because I do have a friend that stepped out on her husband, and that is one of the excuses that she will use. And I know that I did call it an excuse because it is. It's not just because he did you wrong doesn't mean you do wrong back. I want to make that clear. However, it was hard to have this conversation with her I could not take the higher position in her life and say you were dead ass wrong based on her justification. He hit me. He spit on me. Once you tell a friend some shit like that, I don't give a fuck what you did. He spit on you? That's all the focus is. And I think that's true to the person that's taking that shit. He spit on me. So what is sucking another nigga dick? It takes it takes away from.
So he spit on me, I'm gonna go spit on somebody else.
No, I'm not. Two wrongs never make a right. But it is hard to convince a person who is being done wrong that they're not doing wrong or they're not okay for doing that wrong because they have too been hurt and they have too been wrong.
Gotcha. The problem that I have with this is, women a lot of time think like children. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's what you would say to your child. Your child come home and be like, he hit me. You know what I'm saying? So you hit him back. And now you're in trouble. That's children. You know what I'm saying? And those are the type of excuses that women
No, those are adults too.
No, they're children. With children like mine that think like children. Like really at the end of the day, wrong is wrong no matter what. So really, at the end of the day, if you're in a situation and you pull yourself out of the situation, that has nothing to do with he hit me, so I'm going to suck somebody's dick. That's not going to make no sense to nobody. I'm sorry. You can't paint that to me.
The way you're saying it doesn't make sense. You would have to be in the situation and be damaged and hurt. And Superman comes along. You're telling me not to kiss Superman?
I'm not fluffing anything up. I'm just telling right and wrong. Now, because you as a woman don't want to hear right or wrong, I understand that. A lot of times when truth gets spoke to women's ears, plugs go in and start saying shit, but I feel this happened, X, Y, Z, this and that. And those type of shits wouldn't work for a man. We know women make excuses. Case in point, shit. Look at Jada Pickett. I had an entanglement. Bitch, you cheated. You know what I'm saying? Women use all these type of shits, but then when it happens to a man, you want man to stand in the fire. You want men to get crucified. You want them to come clean. He just won't tell me the truth. Like use some of those same type of tactics that y'all use on men and apply them to yourself. And you wouldn't have those excuses talking about he hurt me or he spit. Gotcha. That happened. That has nothing to do with the inner hole when you coming out and being like, I'm finna go fuck someone else. I'm finna go suck someone else.
Well, why is it an inner hole instead of a damaged person? Again, you have to not ignore the word justification. Gotcha. You can't make great choices when you're damaged.
But we're talking about this, okay? We're talking about, does wholeness have an expiration date? So my thing is this. The reason I'm not talking about that as far as like justification of this and that is because, and the reason why I'm saying inner hoe is because you're not going to get help Sucking dick doesn't help the situation. Going to fuck someone don't help the situation. Someone spit on you, you go see a counselor, or you finding ways to get out. Like a person's natural response for something that's happened to them is to get help to get out of a situation. If your first thought is, I need to go fuck someone else, that's your hoe in you. That's saying, I need something to help me forget about, just like a drug addict. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to forget your problems, trying to go into your own euphoria. Your brain is starting to lose focus and go somewhere else. That's your inner hole in you that's like, I need something in my mouth. That has nothing to do with someone doing something to you and you like, let me go hop on a dick. Like, that don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, that would make sense for men. A woman make me mad. Women now are mad aggressive on men. So that means that if my woman was to slap me, I'm like, I'm entitled to go get some pussy. Because this shit is bothering me. You know what I'm saying? That slap against those 5 fingers across my face didn't make any sense.
It's a justification. You're damaged.
So who buying it though? That's what I'm trying to say. Could I get on national TV and be like, those 5 fingers across my face justified for me going to get some pussy? Duh. Those 5 fingers across my face justify me going to get my dick sucked. Like, that's what I'm saying. It would, anybody that's using logical sense would be like, you got to go get out this situation. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So,
sometimes it's another dick that convinces you to get out of the situation, though. How many coworkers do you know notice a black eye? How many people at the grocery store are going to be like, girl, are you okay? No, it's the person that's closer to you. So most likely, if it's another man, there's some shit going on there that he's making you feel like he can play Captain Save-A-Ho. So that's where you fall into Superman's arms. That's what I'm saying. Like, in certain situations, the other dick is the superhero.
You heard what you just said? Captain Save-A-Ho. You know what I'm saying? Because you know yourself that you going down the right path. Captain Save-A-Ho. Because you wouldn't be calling her.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I didn't.
What'd you say? Exactly what you said. That man
Did I say that?
That man playing Captain Save-A-Ho.
I did. You're such a liar. If it's another man, there's some shit going on there that he's making you feel like he can play Captain Save-A-Ho.
Oh, I'm like
the damn cameraman. Really? I did not say that.
You said
It's recorded.
you said Captain.
I think it just came out.
Y'all ain't even gotta talk about it no more.
Yeah.
Just go back and replay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We'll go back to replay. But anyway, that really don't have nothing to do. And keep in mind, I also feel this. The only people who kind of push against that shit a lot of times is women. You know what I'm saying? Like, men accept the idea because women don't like the idea of being called a hoe. A man, a lot of times, you be like, boy, I'm back in my hoish ways, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, men openly talk to other men like that. I was being good, dog, and now I'm out here hoeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, men know that it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we accept it for what it is. It's women who don't want to accept it for what it is. Try to put, like, names on it. Tomato, potato. You know what I'm saying? Like, entanglement and wranglement. You know what I'm saying? Like, they try to put different labels on this shit to make it okay. My thing is saying, I'm not saying, you know, you can't do what you want to do. I'm saying just call it like what it is. But even at the end of the day, I mean, we acting like women don't like the fuck. Like, that's my issue with the shit. Like, I be around women. I talk to women. Some women sometimes be like, I just want to get fucked. Like, I just need to bust this nut. I just need something to make me tingle. Like, their first thought is that. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, if you grew up that way, that shit don't go away because you got married. Because typically what ends up happening is, even the women that you're talking about, that justification. Okay, you want to have that, cool. What the hell does that got to do about from the minute but sometimes even before they sign a divorce paper, they on a dick. Then they on a different dick. Then they start saying shit like, well, I'm divorced, I was in cages, and I just want to go have fun. I want to go have fun with 7 dicks. You know what I'm saying? Go play in Russian roulette. And keep in mind, like, a lot of females now don't even like condoms. Nowadays, it used to be this big thing like, well, men don't like to wear condoms. Bitches don't like to wear condoms either. I've been with plenty of fucking females. You don't need that. You know what I'm saying? They act like they get insulted and shit. You know what I'm saying? You start opening up the paper, they look at you like you crazy.
What you finna do with that?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then y'all start using other excuses. I'm allergic to that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm allergic to latex.
You know what I'm saying? I'm allergic to latex.
It's true. I'm so annoyed.
All that type of shit is going on. But my thing is, you was with safe dick. You know what I'm saying? But your inner hoe in you was like, you know what? I just want to have some fun. I just want to go out here and do some shit. I want to play Russian roulette and gamble my life and put it on the line. And some of them don't even organize the things that's going on in their life, like taking care of their kids, taking care of their business, getting to what it really need to do. Their first focus is trying to fuck someone. That's what I'm saying.
It's a comfort food. I will say that about sex. Food. It really is, though. And I would laugh at someone who says, my heart got broken, so now the hot sign on, so I'm going to Krispy Kreme. I would be like, what? That doesn't make any sense, because I can't relate to being in pain and having a donut. But I can relate to being in pain and being lonely and wanting to feel something. And so we get that from sex.
I get that, but I ain't fat. And that's why you ain't going to relate to a Krispy Kreme donut. And you would have to be a hoe also to realize that's why you don't understand it. That's what I'm saying. Like, someone that's fat is in denial. Everybody done been in a restaurant at an all you can eat, at a Krispy Kreme, at an ice cream parlor, and you know what I'm saying? You looking there, you be like, damn well you ain't supposed to be in here. Everybody done saw that one person but the person that's in there don't see nothing wrong with it. The fat person ain't in there like, I ain't supposed to be in Krispy Kreme. He like, let me get 12 dozen donuts. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you was gonna say a dozen. You said 12 dozen.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? They want half cream, half glaze. You put some chocolate on top, let me get some sprinkles. Like, and you behind them like, what in the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this happening?
Someone stop this person now.
And that's why the hoes don't get it, because they don't think nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, they don't. But that was my point, is it's very hard. I knew I was using an example of pain. But once you're convinced that your actions are justified, it's very, very, very hard to convince somebody that they are in the wrong. I've been there. I have been the friend that's like, you're doing what, girl? You cheating on who and why and with who? Why are you doing? I've been that friend. But it was going in one ear and out the other because this person was damaged. All they can think of is, you're telling me to respect my marriage, give my marriage another try, but you are here when I'm getting spit on. I don't see that motherfucker. And if you don't see him, then it's easy for you to cheat.
Okay, but what does that got to do about you going to suck a dick? What does that got to do about you going to fuck somebody? Like, that's my point. Like, that ain't really got nothing. That ain't got nothing to do.
I'll answer that. My promiscuous stage happened to me when I was broken. I was supposed to get married. I was out of high school, and I was with this person for 7 years of my life, and I didn't cheat. Okay. So I thought.
But you know why though? Because maybe you was never a hoe. Maybe your direction has always been I'm looking for. So keep in mind what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a whole stage versus someone just sleeping around being promiscuous. Because I say to myself, there's two different things to that when you're talking about that. Because you have people who are promiscuous. They out there having fun. They like the idea of sex, this and that. But in their mind, they like, I'm being promiscuous. I'm doing this for this guy.
And I can't do this
You know
forever.
what I'm saying? But I really want to do this with the person that I'm with. Then you have the one that have whole stages where they're like, they don't give a fuck about nothing. They was hoeing before marriage. They hold in their marriage. They hold after their marriage. There is no expiration.
She just a hoe.
Yeah, there is no expiration. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can easily visit it just that quick with no problem, like riding a bike, like you just hop right back on that dick, right back on that pogo stick, It ain't nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you were saying you were just suppressing it. It wasn't over.
Yeah.
So it doesn't expire. It's just suppressed. And I actually like that word better than expire. I think if I'd have heard the conversation and it was like, oh yeah, we think women suppress their whole stage, I would have 155% agreed and we wouldn't even be talking about it now. It's the word choice. Expiration is ruled out because I know people who were never promiscuous, married, damaged, divorced, and now are in a whole stage. Mm-hmm. So they never were hoes. They became hoes. But they may have been suppressing a desire to do more sexually the whole time.
That's right. But that's because typically if you're in a relationship, this is what I mainly hear from a lot of women. Like if they in a relationship, it's just like a man in reverse. They in a sexless, like boring marriage. You know what I'm saying? So they thought to themselves like, I married this dude, I love him, this and that, and then one day they like, like women, y'all nasty. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all watch porn. Like, I don't even know what kind of porn my woman watch. Like every time I bend the corner, it's something different. It's something new. It's some shit I ain't never seen before. I'm like, what the fuck are you watching? It's so nasty, she don't even want to show you. Like, it's nasty when what you watching? Porn? And they got the phone kind of like curved down.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't even, it's like, never mind. Just continue what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But now you like, because I've heard this, but then women start suggesting shit to their husband. Baby, you want to try some anal? Man, look at him. No. I've been married to you like 10 years. Why the fuck I want to try anal now? Mm-hmm. I just think, see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Something is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So now not only are you not getting the sex, because, a lot of women be like, it's the same routine. I know what he finna do for, he know what he finna do. You know what I'm saying? So they get in the position, assume the position, and then it's boring and the whole nine. And that's why they never got a chance to get out there and do what they really want to do. But in there sometimes, that's not for all women. Some women suppress it, and then some be married and then be fucking they college dude or the dude from that they done stayed in contact with from Facebook or they college or where they used to stay and do yearly meetups or monthly meetups and shit like that, and then they get that hoism out. You know what I'm saying? Getting fucked from behind, deep throat, and all this type of shit. Shit you don't even do with your husband, and go home and kiss him in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. But that's the hoe in you that you in denial about. But what ends up happening is once they come out the divorce, then it's a free fall. It is what it is.
Well, I think the ending of this conversation will take us into the second topic because I feel like it kind of bridges. We were listening to...
Well, you didn't go over the men because you said, is it a difference for men? I didn't.
Oh, right. We didn't even get there.
I didn't even hear you.
Is it a difference for men? I think it's a complete difference for men. I don't think men ever stop being hoes mentally. I don't think a man could look at a woman and be like, this is it. I don't need another piece of pussy forever. I don't think that's ever the thought. Even when you marry somebody, I don't think when she's up there in her dress, I don't think you're like, this is the vagina I want forever. Yeah, you pledge to love and care, but I don't think you would ever say out loud that I'm going to be okay with this vagina for 365 days a year for the rest of my life.
So you're saying no men do that?
I don't think there are any men on the world that mentally commit. Sometimes you physically commit because you don't have another choice. If your setup could be a little bit harder to do what it is that you want to do physically. Because I'm not saying that every man cheats. Some men can't. Whether that's they can't spiritually or they can't get away from their wife. They just physically can't do it. But that doesn't mean they're not mentally checked in to do it. And I think every man on the planet that ever walked the planet, except for Jesus, mentally cheats. You cannot, I don't give a damn who you are, even if you're a woman, and you cannot convince me that your husband doesn't mentally cheat on you. He mentally dreams about fucking someone else. He might not do it, but he's had a thought of fucking someone else, and that's okay. So I don't think if you can, the scripture goes, what a man thinketh, so shall he be. Or it goes, the sin is committed in here before it's ever committed physically. So if you're thinking about shooting a bird and you don't, you should have shot the bird because you thought about doing it. So to me, a man is a man. A man has the desire to be with multiple women. And I don't think that ever changes. Ever.
That was real slick how you did that. I like how you did that. She did it so slick. She was like the desire. Not that all men cheat.
Right, but
like,
the
you know what I'm saying?
desire.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you. You know what I'm saying? That was real slick how you did that. I mean, that would be absolutely ridiculous to think that men don't do that. I mean, shit. I fucked my girl the other day. I was thinking about somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's absolutely beside. Well, the reason I'm saying is because men and men are definitely wired different. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times your old lady might not get you hard like that. So we got to go into your
Mental
memory
Rolodex. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times that memory dex might not be you. Often it might not be you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was hitting my lady from the back. I was thinking about another chick, you know, the whole time. I'm like, damn, her pussy feel like this. You know, straight. The benefit of that is your girl get the benefit of you.
Yeah, she gets the physicality of your thoughts.
You fucking her. She just don't know you thinking about somebody else.
And she would never know unless you said it. You know? So that's how some women are like, no, not my man. And that's how he also convinces himself that he's not a cheater.
I don't really feel women feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that they're the only ones and that their man doesn't need anyone else?
Well, I don't feel that women think that they men look at them and say, well, he only desired me. Like, I don't feel that. Like, if that's the case, no man could really, every man could go out the house and be in the grocery store and look at somebody else. If you see what I'm saying? But a lot of times men know to look straight because your lady gonna say something. Like, we don't stray and look. Well, not all, you know, some men don't stray and look because they old lady already watching them before they even make that move.
Which is the stupidest
you
shit
know
I've
what I'm
ever
saying?
heard.
So, like, to me, for me to think
so
that...
because he doesn't look while he's with you, it means he doesn't look when he's without you. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It's putting on... So when he's with you, his eyes are straight. So you believe that when he's not with you, his eyes are still straight. Wouldn't you rather have the person to act the way they are, whether you're there or not?
Know. Some women know.
That is
because we're now keep in mind we talking about women. Women don't think with logic. They think with delusion. They like the idea of just pure bliss, ignorance, and stuff like that. I've heard women tell me that, you know, I make them feel like they the only one, and I'm not doing anything specific to them. I'm just being me, but they build it up in their mind to feel that, and they cool with that. Some women are just cool with the idea that
the delusion.
Yeah, they just cool with the idea that he makes me feel this way, so this is the bliss that I need to be on, and this is the bliss that I'm gonna stay on. You know, my only combatants with that would be like if we get into an argument and then they trying to tell me some shit that I know for a fact I didn't say or I didn't do. You know. But
the way they perceived it.
Yeah, but the way they perceive, like I mean, I had a bitch tell me she loved me like 3 days in, brought me a cake, and cooked food for me. I'm just saying to myself, like, I met you 3 days ago. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out how does this make sense to you? And she like, too fast? And she knew she fucked up.
She knew.
She knew she
But she
fucked
was
up.
thinking about that dick while she was baking that cake, though.
Yeah, I cut off. You know what I'm saying? Right when she said the shit was over with. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, if you're acting like this now, 3 days in, you know, it's going to get worse. So I did. So I had to give her the Heisman, you know what I'm saying? And just cut that whole thing short. Like, because some shit that comes to men be a little bit too much, too fast, too quick. You know what I'm saying? And that, I ain't even going to hold you. Like, that shit just, it was scary. You know what I'm saying? It was just too scary for me. I'm like, oh, Lord, you know, that's too, so... had to cut her off. So as far as like, I guess the idea that men, again, like with our, I guess a whole stage or something like that, like, I think men accept it, and I wouldn't even call it like a whole stage.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I just say, I think it's primal. I think it's primal for us, and we just living in our natural
habitat.
Yeah, and that's just our natural space just to be in, and you know that's just what it is for us. Because I know plenty of times, like women a lot of times can get attached. There are some women that don't be attached sexually, but you keep fucking them long enough, this and that.
They will be.
Yeah, I fucked chicks for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years and just didn't feel nothing. I liked fucking them, but I wasn't in love with them.
Right. I just know a man doesn't really change his stripes, and I have had the pleasure of. I mean, I've just had the pleasure of watching my own father, who was a vibrant young Marine when I was a baby, and now is in his 60s, and he's still talking about pussy the same way, and he'll still go after it the same way. He might have to do more prep than he did back then, take a pill or two, but his mind, what the pussy provides for him, has not changed. He's been married, he's got kids, has lived a long life, been in a lot of countries, met a lot of different women. There isn't one that he's been able to say that was the one, or you very rarely hear.
But pussy and relationships don't have nothing to do with each other for men.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the reality.
Yeah.
A lot of women might not want to hear that, but pussy and relationship really are separate when it comes to a man. A man could be with you sexually, and that's why a lot of times women get in trouble in relationships, because they perceive it that way. They combine both of them and say, I ain't nothing I knew about that. How'd that happen?
But it went off live.
Yeah. They banned me.
Oh shit! They banned you. Why? So yeah, I just don't. I've never even referred to I may have, in a conversation with a group of girls, I may have been like, "Well, his whole ass." I may have said some shit like that about like a rapper or something like that, but I've never really looked at men as the part of the whole species, because they're just being themselves. So of course, I'm on the fan of man side of things most of the time. And when it comes to sex, I'm definitely a fan of man and why he does what he does and understands why he does what he does. So, I'm a little bit different on that note, but that's why I haven't been able to really relate to the conversation of a male hoe. Mm-hmm. It's not natural for a woman. So to call her a hoe, it makes sense. To call a man a hoe doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Okay, so the next topic is based off of another conversation I heard. I just happened to have it, so I'm going to play a little bit of it, not a lot. I just want you guys to hear the gist of it so you'll understand where the topic actually comes from.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. I'm Miss Tisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Man says black women are tired. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Check this out. Black women are tired. They're tired of being independent. They're tired of being looked at as the strongest. They're tired of having to take care of the kids by themselves. They're tired of bearing all the weight. Don't believe the hype that you see on all of these social media networks. Black women are tired, and the reason why I know this because I talk and have conversations with a lot of black women. What a black woman really want, she want to be able to go to the soccer games. She want to not have to be the sole leader and sole provider of her family. She want to support the man who God gave her to be with. She want to be a helpmeet. The thing is, she's been placed in this position where she's had to lead. She's had to step up to the plate and become something that she really didn't want to be in the first place. She want to support her man. She want to nurture her kids. She want to nurture her husband while pursuing things that she's passionate about. That's it. It's that simple. The thing is, she just can't find a suitable leader that she trusts to come in and relieve her of these responsibilities so that she can finally get some rest, because that's what she wants. Rest.
All right, so you guys have heard the video for yourself.
So, that's where the topic really comes from. When we're picking up on what do women really want. When I was listening to this, I separated it into two parts because I had no choice. There was a part where he was saying what women are tired of, and there's no way I can sit here and disagree, because in the generation that I grew up in, I didn't see a lot of 2-parent households. I saw a lot of single-parent households. And do you think those single people were dads? They were moms. And so based on that, when I hear a man say, oh, I talk to plenty of women, they're tired of being leaders, they're tired of holding down the household, I can say that my mom held down the household when my dad divorced. I can say now, I cannot say that my dad did not contribute financially. What I can say is I was a latchkey kid. And my mom used to be a stay-at-home mom when my mom and dad were together. My mom stayed home, my dad was in the military. So for me, this is a traumatic life change to have my mother go to work and hand me a key and say, when you get home from school, you walk, you come home, you do the laundry. This is a different world for me. And so because of that, I am leaning towards, you're right. Amen, brother, preach. They're tired. Because my mom was. What I didn't really relate to is the second part of that was they can't find a man to do this so they can rest. That's incorrect. And I also learned that from my mama. Because after she divorced my daddy, she got another husband. And after she divorced that nigga, she got another husband. Because she always put herself in an arena where it was a mandatory thing to make her a missus. She was not a hoe. But she always found she wasn't a hoe, but she also didn't dedicate her life to being no nun either. She wanted some dick. She wanted some companionship, and she made it mandatory to become her husband to give her the dick and the companionship. So my mom always had a husband. My mother always knew how to choose. My mother always knew what arenas to put herself to find men to commit. These women who are so tired and so beat down, you know what? You look beat down, and you probably feel beat down because being tired, you're still choosing wrong. Yes, we're tired and we have a right to be. But how many men are between the first time you got tired and you're now tired? Because the first time you was tired was when I was born in 75. And then you was tired again in 85. And then you was tired again in 95. And you was tired again in 2005. And every single one of them boyfriends wasn't shit. So I'm teeter-tottering. Yes, you're tired, but while you were tired, you were still choosing wrong. And I think that's no one's fault but our own. That does not land in the man's lap.
Cool. Gotcha. Listening to that, I had to break that up a lot of different ways, and I'll address it one from the standpoint of the actual video itself. From the actual video itself, something that I really get tired of is men pandering to women and champion for them for whatever reason, whether they want brownie points, they like the brown nose, they was probably the kid, suck up kid in school or whatever the case may be. For some reason, they pander to this idea and they hit on points that aren't even significant enough, and it's just for women to be like, oh yeah, boy, I'm glad someone said it. Like I was looking at the comment section, a whole bunch of women in there saying, thank God someone understands us, thank God, someone said it, don't protect this man, and all this other type of horse shit that I just heard them, just saying with these type of one-sided narratives. Now, kind of to break down like Woody was saying, I would never go against anybody that's been in relationships, and even say I know what it's like for a woman to say, hey, I'm tired of doing this and I'm tired of doing that. And yeah, people can grow tired. Shit, men can get tired. Men can get tired of being with their wife, and I'm tired of this. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that I hate is that they leave out certain facts. And the fact of it is if you tired, then let's look at your track record. Because a lot of times we start painting these narratives, especially in the black community. We paint the narrative always from a Pookie and a Ray Ray. Like always. Like never from a high value man. Never from above average man like an electrician who makes this type of money and stuff like that. Even kudos to you for saying what you were saying is like, like it's no men out here. I've watched family members myself get husbands 4 times. You understand what I'm saying? So it can't be no shortage of men out here. Like that's definitely not the problem. The problem is really at the end of the day, it's like you choose your baby daddy and find out he a piece of shit afterwards. Just like a man can choose his baby mama and find out she ain't shit afterwards. But the men ain't complaining about the shit. Like that's the fucking difference. And who stuck you there? We didn't fight for women's right. Women fought for women's right. We didn't fight for independence. Who put you there? You put yourself there. Like anytime I hear things like that, it's women who put themselves there. And the issue is when they hit the wall. When they hit the wall, they become like, yes, I'm tired, this and that. They don't have that same energy they have. I saw the other day, just in our comment section, a women that was like, they was getting on you. And they was like, she gotta be old. She was like, because why I don't ever hear no younger women saying this and that. And she was absolutely right. Not that you was wrong, but she was saying that I'm young and I don't feel that way. I'm young. I'm independent. I don't need no man. I want to work. I want a career. I want to go after what I want to. I don't want to do those type of things, going and set my dreams and shit aside based upon a man. And you can do that. But don't blame a man for that when you turning 35 and 40. And now you like, ain't no men out here. That's bullshit. Because the men that were there for you, you turned down. You turned it down for either that school debt that you got. You turned it down because you wanted to be in your whole stage. You turned it down because you wanted to be hard-headed as fuck, or you probably hard-headed now and just wanted to do what you want to do without any consequences. Ain't no man put you there. You put yourself there.
Amen. I don't read comments, by the way. I've always wanted to say that on the show. So just in case you don't like me and you say a lot of shit about me, I don't read it. So it's not getting to me. It never will. It won't bother me because I don't look at it. But I thought...
I don't give a shit.
I thought it was interesting that she said that, and I didn't get offended. That she said, well, you must be older because young women don't want that. I'm glad that she spoke for all young women that are now saying out of their own mouths, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. When you're 45, 46, 47, 50, 60,
30
even, 35. You know what strikes me is that there's this big going on conversation that I've had with my girlfriends about 3 or 4 years about girls trips. At a certain age, being out of the country or anywhere really beautiful with a whole bunch of chicks is just not cute. Not to me. During the day, at the wine tasting, sure. Shopping, sure. But at night, I don't want to go home to y'all. I want to go back to my hotel and meet up with my guy.
But girls trips are for them to do that.
I don't care to do that at certain ages. That's what I'm saying. At a certain age, 18 to 25, put me on 1,000 girls trips. I'm down. But fucking 25 and up, it just changes. Your desires change. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this. But would you still feel that way out of a relationship? So let's say, for instance, like now you're 38 and now you taking girl trips. I don't really feel you would feel that way because I
would be single and now going on vacation to mingle.
Okay.
It's different.
That's a lot of your friends though. They're single.
Yeah, they are.
So you know you're not going to have the same standpoint as them because they are single.
Even with them though, if we going to Miami, that's cool. We can get in the car. We can all gas up and drive 4 hours away from home. But don't ask me to go to Jamaica, single or not. Because at night, I'm not the type that can go on a vacation and get some dick. I have never once been on a vacation and met a new pair of nuts that I wanted to sit on.
But that's why you don't understand. So let's say, for instance, there's this thing that going around now for like black men. And they'll be like, you go overseas to where?
Germany, Asia, Thailand.
There you go, Germany, Thailand. They'd be like, hey, black men, y'all in fire in Thailand. Just go over there and then y'all go. So what would a black man do? I'm from Florida. I would go over to Thailand. And I'm like, I don't speak that shit, but I speak sex. Yeah. And they speak sex. Mm-hmm. So I can get it. And I think like for you, I ain't necessarily sure. What you say?
I don't feel like, again, I can't relate to that because I don't.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never heard.
Gotcha.
And my girlfriends also. The only movie I saw where that ever happened was How Stella Got Her Groove Back. Only movie in all my years. I've had not one friend told me, girl, I went to Jamaica and guess what? I sat on a dick. I met somebody. It's vacation. You're there for 3 days, 4 days. What is this motherfucker gonna do? And what accent is he gonna have to make me give up the skins? On vacation in a foreign fucking country. I don't know a motherfucker. It's just not gonna happen. So I'm never gonna put myself in a position where I'm horny and I can't get taken care of. So I'm leaving the country with my dick. I'm not going with a whole bunch of chicks. So I'm saying during certain points in life, there are just certain things or certain situations that is just, you're not gonna put yourself into. That's speaking to the young lady that's saying, oh, she must be older. It's coming for you too, sweetie, because all that independence and you want to do this and you want to do that, it's cool to do that, but you're not going to want to do that by yourself. I've been there with $200,000 in the bank and no one to cook meal for.
I understand that. And again, I commend you for speaking on you. But that's how we speak about this whole little situation about like there's a whole bunch of women out here that's tired and make it seem like every woman deals with a Pookie, a Ray Ray, or some shit like that. Like, those ain't the only men that exist. Just like you ain't the only type of woman that exists. Because there are women that go on those girls trips, and there are women out here giving up that cookie, giving up that snatch, giving up that shit. You know what I'm saying? Drunk and gonna use whatever excuse it is. And the reason you're not really gonna hear about it is because unlike men, like when men get movies and shit like that painted about us, about like guy strips and shit like that, it always revolves around us getting some pussy or some shit like that.
No, it'd be one in the group getting the pussy, the rest of y'all.
But I understand that. But what I'm saying is, but it's diversified like that. It's the guy that's getting married, and then the rest of the guys are collecting what's going on around that. But that's an open conversation. Women don't have those type of conversations because y'all always trying to make it seem like we never hoe, we always a woman, we always do this type of shit, acting like y'all don't be like gagaing out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying like there are women who go on vacation and you know they have random sex, random dick, this and that, and even for you to even say shit like that, like put it like this. Just like how you saying to them, and you making it seem preposterous, right?
It is because it is.
Gotcha. But
to me,
that's right, to you. But this is the thing. That seems preposterous to you to say, well, how could you go out there and like go on vacation to Jamaica and just randomly, you know what I'm saying, like have sex with somebody else? But a woman could ask you that. How could you fuck a married man? You know what I'm saying? That sounds preposterous to them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like things that you think that you're not capable of or things that you can't do or this and that, it might seem that way for the other person. They can go on a girl's trip and try random dick. You getting Bible study and fucking a married dude, I mean, that ain't too far to fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's in your backyard. That don't make it fucking better. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Touche. Damn. One wrong two wrongs are just fucking wrong.
There you go.
No matter what they are. But the actual topic at hand with it now being the narrative in this situation is that's a rumor. We don't want to be independent. We're just saying that because we haven't found the right man to give the reins to where we could now rest. And I just don't think enough women have proven that to be true.
Well, let me ask you this though. Why don't... I guess the real question would be, what is the solution? Because to me, I've often said this. Those same women that was in the comment section underneath that video saying, hey, somebody's listening to us, this and that. I agree with the young lady that said that. It's like, to me, I feel like there was a bunch of older women that was in that comment section saying, damn, there's a man that said it for us. There's a man that's doing these type of things, but they are older. But why are you not telling the younger ones, the ones that's coming up? Because y'all the OGs, y'all the aunties, y'all the ones. So why y'all don't say, look, it's straight. You think you straight right now, and you gonna end up like me. You know what I'm saying? I remember an episode of Martin when Martin was having an issue with marrying Gina. They all playing cards. Him and a whole bunch of old dudes. And one old dude told him, old fools used to be young fools. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much saying like, you think you want this single bachelor lifestyle, boy, this shit ain't it. I'm older now. I wish I would have married my child sweetheart, this and that. You understand what I'm saying? And it was an OG that told him that. So for all the women that's complaining, y'all letting way too many women out here go along with that independent shit like, I don't need a man. I don't want that. I don't need that. Mm-hmm. And women not snatching the women. Stop putting that shit on the men, making it seem like it's the men that's holding y'all back.
Because I think that this is more deeply rooted in the way people are brought up. Because again, stemming from our conversation last week, our moms that's how we're born. You don't need a man. And my mom was a Marine's wife. But eventually...
But did she tell you that you didn't need a man?
She didn't say it in those words. Her way was, have your own. That's the way those messages are delivered. Wait a minute now. What's in your bank account? If I had a boyfriend and I was talking about getting a joint account, my mom was in baking. Are you crazy? You always supposed to have your own money. So these are the things that we're growing up hearing from our aunties and our mothers, teaching us to be independent. So I can't even blame these young ladies. This is the world that we walk them into.
I can, because that's a matter of how you interpret it. And that's the problem with a lot of women a lot of times. The comprehension that women have a lot of times. Like, I'm sorry, like I just heard you just in this show alone say, well, my mama ain't never had not a husband.
She never had.
So my thing is, if anything which you did see, is she didn't preach to you not to have no man.
Right.
She preached to you to have your own money.
Yes.
Having your own money and not having a man.
Two different things.
Them things are two different things. And if anything, for you, that would say, well, she have her own thing and have her own money, but damn, she married. She just ain't get she just didn't give her pussy up. Versus these women now that say, well, I can fuck this dude, go to the next one, don't ask for marriage, don't need that, just let my pussy get used.
And have my own money. And that's success.
And then have my money.
Yeah.
Or they chase money, not marriage. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of women who just chase money. I want the rich dude. I want to be the side chick. Long as he take care of me, long as he buy me a car, long as he fund me, I'm cool with that.
Which now brings us to today, and they're tired. Beat down, worn out, used,
but you're tired
lied to. You're tired of your choices.
That's right.
And that's what it boils down to. And I think that the women under that post who were encouraging this guy and saying, yeah, someone's finally saying what we needed to hear. I think those women, it's time for them to just take a look in the mirror. Because I did not see, but I think I heard that B. Simone also commented on this conversation. And this is someone who actively makes bad choices in men. Actively.
She was in the post.
Makes horrible choices.
But B. Simone also young. And
does it not an excuse for picking someone to go after who is not husband material. You know what? That's funny because I was watching someone else today that was saying, oh, well, girls date drug dealers because it's fun. Okay, so do you want to have fun or do you want to be someone's wife? He can't marry you because most likely he's not going to have the freedom. You're not going to have the security you need to have a stable foundation because at any day now, someone could knock on your door and take him to jail. So that's nothing you can really build on. That is some right now shit. But they are actually laughing and throwing their hair back and like it's so fun and he rolled up with it and he got the shit on the gun on the table and they're young. Yeah. And a lot of other words that I don't feel like saying because I don't want to get attacked. But it's a lot of other words but I be wanting to say when I see a young lady having that conversation and justifying bad choices. And then 5 years later, we'll see her again saying that men ain't shit. Well, look who you picked.
But that's why I'm saying is an OG, maybe you need to. And then it's just a matter of your approach. Now it's just going to be now it's just going to be a matter of your approach of how you speak to. Just like Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was a great example of that to me because really at the end of the day, even men and women who actually called into the show, of course, like anything else, this is a black community, and he had a lot of black people that called into the show. But one thing I did notice was because he was an older person, the men showed him respect and the women showed him respect. but he also delivered that bad news. Ma'am, listen, ma'am, I understand that. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't talk to him like a nigga on the street or no shit like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of times, instead of trying to yank like these young women by the neck, like, look, bitch, you know what I'm saying? That's how it's gonna come off to them.
It comes, and I think it comes off like that because it's annoying. I don't know how I would approach that young lady on the video. I don't know how I would approach half the women that you say are saying things that they're saying in my post. You know why? Because in their mind, their actions are already justified. So that's why it's a fight. It's not a humble person you're talking to who's willing to learn. You're talking to somebody who already have in their mind that this is their way and they've already justified it.
You approach it as a leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I approach it a lot of times. Like, I approach it from the standpoint, like, not wanting to be a leader, but a lot of times when I look at comments and stuff like that, or people just come up to me and say thank you and like, I was feeling what you were saying, I approach it from that standpoint. It's just my responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It's a responsibility that I ain't asked for. It's a responsibility because I have a platform, I have a voice, and then it can shift how if a young man is looking. And if you look at the millennials, how do the millennials learn? They don't learn from reading. They learn from YouTube, social media,
TikTok.
things that they see. So the person or the image of the person they're gonna see is someone like me, someone like Kevin Samuels, someone like Andrew Tate. They're gonna see those people, and then that's how they learn. So I have to come up with a way to say, if someone, because I always feel everyone is willing to learn. It's a matter of how the message is delivered. So sometimes my approach might be different with different people.
Well, this is my approach. It's relations. This is as good as it gets.
Gotcha.
You know, for me, and the only reason why I'm taking that approach is, one, when I'm really passionate about something, my voice tone changes. If you guys have gone back and looked at any of the shows, or you've kept up with this with us even live, there's a time when if I'm really excited or passionate about something, I'm raising my voice. I'm not raising my voice from an angry place. It's a button in me that if I'm really passionate about something, my voice tone raises almost to a yell. And even the people that are watching, like, why in the hell is she yelling? They just don't understand that that's just my biology. And so I tend to keep myself out of the arenas where I can be confronted. They don't think the hardest thing I've ever done, or the only thing I've done in public where I had to criticize in public is open mic stuff, because I feel like, okay, I'm talking to y'all about something professional. You need to learn how to hold a mic. You need to learn the words to your song and bring a backing track for your music. That's a professional opinion. For me to attack someone's character almost and say, you being a hoe ain't cool, your ass is gonna be lonely, or you want to be humble. These are things that I'm now trying to critique someone's personality or their character, and it could be taken way a different way. And I don't want to get cussed out. I can get cussed out on social media because I don't have to see it, but I don't want to have to be in someone's face and try to justify me giving them my opinion on the way they should live their life.
Yeah, but the reason why is because you're trying to give a prescription, and that's not what I'm saying. You don't give a prescription. Why do you think that I always talk from the perspective of me? I don't speak for all guys, but I can speak for me. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm giving the person the opportunity to digest and take the meat off the bones of what they can take away from what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And so I would say, like, instead of trying to prescribe someone or these young ladies something, you still got to give the warning signs about, look, this is what happened to me. Someone isn't going to take that the wrong way because you're talking about
myself.
When you're talking about someone else, you're prescribing something to them like a doctor. And what happens to a doctor if the shit don't work out? They back in the doctor face. Yeah. Hey, man, you prescribed this shit for me. This shit ain't working. Yeah. That's why the person is upset. So that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of times, even the warning signs about what's happening to you and a women that's been abused, or women who's coming out of marriages, and then they can give their sides of the story and say, look, I was married for 15 years and I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Thinking I didn't need a man, and I went against what my king was saying, and this is what landed me in divorce. This is what landed me single. You see what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when people see that shit happening to them, they can digest that. Now, what you do with that information, that's up
to you.
That's all on you.
Yeah. Very good. I'll give that speech at the next divorce party I'm invited to.
Gotcha.
That's what we do these days. We buy cake and shit and blow up balloons when there's a divorce. It's not something and it's sad because with me having an impending wedding, a wedding coming up, if I'm around someone who is divorced or talking about getting divorced, you know what my first thing is? Is there anything that you can do to make it work? Did you go to counseling? These are my kind of questions. But on the other end, girl, we have a party. Don't be sorry. That's the first thing I say is you have my condolences. I'm so sorry about your divorce. Girl, what is you sorry for? We about to go out for drinks. You coming? I'm going to be partying all month. This is my divorce month. And it's the anniversary month from now on. So every year this day, we getting fucked up. That's what I'm encountering when there's a conversation about a breakup or a divorce. It's a party. It isn't a bad thing. But I think that's
you're talking
because
about somebody on the ledge, though. You're talking about somebody that's already going through the door. I'm talking about from the perspective of younger women who's not having the opportunity to do these type of things. They haven't got married yet. They out here living life. They out here collecting debt. They out here going against their men and choosing bad men. That's what I'm saying. Someone that's in a marriage or this and that, what you experiencing is pretty much what a man experienced. A woman that's damaged. Can't do too much with that shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're talking about. A woman that's damaged, that's a lost cause. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. Not all the times, but for the most part, it's strictly a lost cause. That's why a lot of older dudes don't deal with older women. Because they've been through the ringer. Someone who's younger that had that type of vibrant shit in them, that's why they are like that. I don't need a man. Like, imagine someone that's young right now. They can work 2-3 jobs with no problem. Try doing that when you 35, 40, shit like that. Who the fuck want to be 40 working 2-3 jobs? You can do that shit when you 21, 22, 25.
Yeah.
With no problem.
Things change.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that shit like 40 years old when someone talking about, well, I'm finna go to this job from 7 to 3 and then get off and go from 3 to 11 and then go to another. You're going to be like burnt out. You ready to, we probably won't even make it.
Yeah, real shit. You know, things change in life, but I know something that will always remain the same, and that's relations, baby. We're here every single Friday night at 8. Make sure you're tuning in. It's time for the tap in. And instead of asking a question, we kind of wanted to have a little tap in conversation about fellow podcaster Andrew Tate, who has been removed from IG and I think Meta, Facebook. Yes. He's been
pretty much removed from everything at this point in time. I think everything except like YouTube.
Right.
So TikTok, Meta, all those type of things. But the thing is, it's like with men, it's crazy to me that so many women have said, you know, men don't talk. Men don't voice their opinion. Y'all need to speak. Y'all need to say something. And the minute men say something, which is truthful, we misogynistic. We hate women. We hate our mama. It's damaging the young boys. All those type of things. And especially in this social media world where things are like clickbait, negative things. Like someone could take a clip of me right now on this relation show and then I could be talking about something and then they can merge it with women cooking and cleaning and make it look like I said something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And like Andrew Tate was saying, they don't do anything about the death threats he was getting, thousands of death threats that you can openly see. But because they label him a misogynist, and before this got handed down, I saw feminist movements that was like, he need to be removed from Facebook. He need to be removed from TikTok. Like a gathering of shit. And it's crazy to me. It's like, they was like, well, he broke their rules. I'm like, what rules? Like, what rules did he? Because if you go to his social media, he didn't have a lot of, like, not even nowhere close to how our platform is. There were no clips up on his things. His clips are from other people who have those things up. You look at his live. I mean, you look at his IG. His IG is of his lifestyle, his cars, his clothes, and stuff like that. There was no clips up on that, and he was banned from that. He said he got no warning, no anything like that. They wanted to ban Kevin Samuels, and they probably, and Kevin Samuels couldn't get banned because he used his own platform to speak his own truth. You know what I'm saying? We just got banned a few minutes ago on our live on TikTok.
Or what?
And it's funny to me. It's like, I don't know. It's like they pick and choose on like what's misogynistic if you speak in truth. And he said himself, he was like, is he misogynistic? And he was like, yeah, because I'm a truth teller. how could I not be misogynistic to people when I just tell truth? Because and he was a religious person, and in some religions, they are hierarchies where men believe that things are meant for men to do, and women are meant for certain things too. And if a man speaks that,
he sounds misogynistic.
You hate men. You hate women. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's damaging the young men. You know, well, that's damaging. But women can berate men, destroy men, tell us we ain't shit, tell us to get better, tell us that
we need therapy.
Yeah. All kind of shit. Like, fuck us completely up. And they'll let women go out here with this rhetoric and just smear our whole name. And the minute a man makes those type of things, they don't want to have a conversation
about it. I actually wanted fan of man to be the topic today. We saved this as a tap in because I think we both saw eye to eye on it, so it really wouldn't be a back and forth conversation because we both believe in being a fan of man. And there's just a reason why. Because I'm a woman. So for people to hear that I'm a fan of man, I know that's sometimes hard to digest, but I have a lot of male friends who don't say or do what they feel like doing. They make themselves bad people based on someone else's expectations of them. So if I'm in a relationship and I expect you to be faithful, you're going to make yourself a liar and a cheater because first of all, you're not a monogamous person. So agreeing to be monogamous in this situation is a lie. You are not a monogamous person. It's not who you are. I would rather hear that all day than to hear what fits into my box as acceptable. And basically, that's what happened on a larger level. What he was saying was not acceptable to the agenda that they're pushing. They're pushing gay and they're pushing women. Women's rights and gay rights. And I can say probably black rights too. Those are the three, you can say no. But in the last couple of years, that's what we've seen a boom of. We've seen a boom culturally because we've been brutalized. We've seen a boom culturally in women because we've been brutalized. Sex trafficking, domestic violence, whatever it is going on, they wanted to focus on that and push an agenda. And so that's what they're doing. And so Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate and sometimes relations doesn't fit that agenda. Now, because it doesn't fit the agenda, doesn't mean it's a lie. And that's what people need to start asking themselves. Fine, you want to take Kevin Samuels off social media? You want to ban our live? You want to take Andrew Tate off completely? It does not change the truth. The truth is still alive. And because of that, now Andrew Tate is gone, but there's still relations. There's still alpha male God. There's still fresh and fit. There's still things that are going to pop up. There are still platforms that are going to pop up that are dedicated to being a fan of man because it's their time. Just accept that. It's been our time too. It's been our time to scream equality. It's been our time to scream sex this. And we don't want to be perpetrated as hoes when we want to be sexually free. We've had our time and it's worked because now they're pushing the fucking agenda. Now we have man coming out saying, okay, woman, we hear y'all roar. Y'all want that? Well, this is what the fuck we want. We don't want y'all to be fat. There's nothing wrong with saying you don't want a fat person, that you want a person to be fit. And I think it's okay for me to say that because I'm not skinny. But if I'm looking at the man that I'm with and I'm saying, look at that king. He's successful, handsome, well-spoken, then I have to look at myself in the mirror and make sure I'm good standing next to him. And that means getting my ass in the damn gym. There's nothing wrong with a man saying that. They have to say it because of one sad thing. You couldn't say it to yourself. You couldn't look at yourself in the mirror and say, I need to stop wearing 6-inch long eyelashes. I need to, show my face every now and then, what I really look like. I need to be more soft-spoken. I need to be a more attentive mother. There are things that we need help with, and that's okay. We're not perfect. But since we couldn't say it to ourselves and get self-help, now we want to damage the man who isn't scared to say it to us. So basically, you're saying it's okay being what you are, and you don't want to be better. This is the same as your 16-year-old kid quitting school because he has his own agenda. It's no different.
And we'll definitely pick up on this on the actual topic itself.
For sure.
So we'll definitely come back to this and visit it some more and have this adult conversation with y'all.
Absolutely. This is another episode of Relations. My name is Kana Lassiter. You can find me on IG and Twitter at Kana Lassiter.
And you can find your boy on both platforms at 51 Page on Twitter and IG. Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us on live. Sorry for the people that was on TikTok. We got banned real quick. But you know what I'm saying? We on live on IG. So if y'all followed us, you still was able to tune back in. So y'all was on the log right here. And for those that want to see the replay, it's gonna come out on Friday. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us again on our IG. That's DA_relations_podcast. You're looking for these shirts, you can find them under Alpha Male God Creation. And until next time, you know I'm gonna sign us out like I always do. Peace.